Earlier this week, I moved into a new dorm at the University of Maryland for my second year, and of course, I brought a solid selection of cubes with me, just like last year. This year, I brought a slightly different group of cubes, so let's check them out. The main group of cubes that I brought are all my mains for the WCA events that I do. So starting with 2x2, I'm still using the Valk 2 M. It's my go-to 2x2 for now, and it works well enough. Then for 3x3, since it's both my favorite event and the most popular event, I brought more than one. I brought the WRMs from 2019, 2020, and 2021, and then I also brought the RS3 M 2020, and just so I don't overload on MoYu 3x3s, I brought my GAN 11M Pro also to mix things up. Currently, the 2020 worm is actually still my main. I haven't really found a great setup for the 2021 version yet, and I've kind of been struggling with it, but once I get that set up, I think it might take over. For the other 3x3 event that I do, which is one-handed, I've been going back and forth between the Worm 2019 and the RS3 M 2020. Both of those are pretty good for me, and I can get basically the same times on both, but recently I've been leaning back toward the Worm 2019. Moving up to 4x4, I'm still using the AoSu GTS2 M. I still love this cube, and I still really enjoy practicing 4x4 with it, so it's still my main. Same thing goes for the Valk 5M. I've been using this one for a long time, and I still love it, so it's still my main. Then for 6x6, I did make a moderately recent upgrade within the past year to the Shadow V2 M. I like this puzzle. I know a lot of people like the MGC, but for me, the Shadow works pretty well. 7x7, once again, still the same. I'm using the Spark M, and really the only reason I use this thing over the MGC is because of the size. I feel like the turning is also a bit more flexible than on the MGC, which I prefer, and I feel like I just get more consistent times with it, so I'm still using the Spark M 7x7. So that's it for the end by ends, and then for the other puzzles, my favorite event recently has been Square-1. I have been practicing this a lot since the MGC Square-1 came out. That cube has really been motivating me to practice, and I've gotten a lot faster, so the MGC Square-1 is the one I chose to bring. For Skewb, I'm still using the Wingy. I don't really practice this, but I wanted to have a Skewb with me just in case. And the same thing kind of goes for Pyraminx and Megaminx. I don't really practice them too often, but I brought my Bell V2 Pyraminx and my YuHu V2 M Megaminx. Lastly, I brought a QiYi clock. I've never actually competed in clock in an official competition, but if we ever get to compete again, I may participate in clock, so I decided to bring mine anyway. That's it for the WCA puzzles, but I did bring a few other puzzles just to mix it up, because sometimes I want to play with something different, or show a cube to a friend. So I brought my Mirror Blocks, which is a 3x3 shape mod, but it looks really cool when scrambled, and if I ever want to explain the concept of a 3x3 shape mod to a friend, the Mirror Blocks does a really good job at that, because it's easy to see how it was adapted from a 3x3. On the other side of the fence, I also brought an Axis Cube, which is also a 3x3 shape mod. It's just a lot less intuitive how it came from a 3x3 because it looks a bit more different than the Mirror Blocks does, but it looks super cool when scrambled. I couldn't resist bringing it. Then the last real puzzle I brought was the Gear Cube. This one's just pretty fun and easy. It's very different from anything else that I brought because it's the only one with gears. So once again, I just brought it for the sake of having a different style of puzzle with me. And just like last year, I brought my Christmas tree 1x2x3. This is a puzzle I can give to anyone, and they will be able to solve it because it's so simple, and it makes everyone feel accomplished. So those are all the cubes that I brought to my dorm room, but I haven't found a good place to store them yet. Last year I kept them all in my desk drawer, but this year the desk drawer is too shallow to fit even a regular size 3x3, let alone anything bigger than that. For now I'm going to keep them all bundled up in their carrying case and take them out whenever I want to use them. If anyone is interested in purchasing any of the cubes in this video, there will be links to all of them in the description where you can buy them all from the Cubicle. And remember, you can always get 5% off of all your orders from the Cubicle with the discount code LCC. Thanks for watching.